Bonjour and welcome to all of you comic book geeks, readers and collectors to the top 10 of the week, of which there are 10 because it was quite a light week. So I did pick up another couple after I'd done my new comic book haul. I'd missed a couple. I was in a rush because I had my grandson with me and he was asleep in the car and etc. etc. So I had to rush quickly and keep an eye on in the car in his seat. And then I rushed out and realised, hold on, I didn't pick up this, not many, only 2 or 3. Anyway, welcome. I'm going to run through the 10. There's no deep dive. My book of the week, I think most of you have got. I don't think I'm going to be persuading anyone to buy that book by showing the exquisite art inside. We know who's drawn it. You probably know it was the big release of the week. But I've got to say it's my book of the week. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Right at the end, we'll do the cover of the week again, where it's a quiet week. And I kind of scanned through, but there's nothing that kind of I think, oh, wow, don't know what it is with covers. That's kind of, I don't know. It comes and goes, doesn't it? If you haven't already, may I please mention that the voting for the Comic Book Community Awards, of which I am a finalist of, is still open until the 11th, I think it's the 11th of October, first week of October. So if you haven't got your vote in already, please vote for your favourite in that award ceremony. And one, I'll leave my other announcement to another video because I want to get on with the top 10 of the week. But before we do, this isn't a whinge of the week. This is, I need a new category for this. My old mate Mandy, whose channel Mandy is a Geek, you need to check out. And over on Threads, and we have a load of fun throwing comics about, I like this one, no I don't, and etc. We have a lot of fun with the whole thing. And if you're not on Threads, by the way, get on over there if you're into your comics. There is a brilliant community of guys and girls over there that just love their comics. We don't always agree, do we, Mandy? But anyway, and the link to her YouTube channel is in my front page, etc. Mandy is a Geek. Anyway, she recommended this last week, so this is, but I've just got to say, she was on the money with this one. What it was, I think this wound her up with me. I think maybe because I was prepared for the dialogue, for the, as she put it in a message on Threads, the Jim Chiroo British dialogue. I thought Christopher Priest was better than this. I thought he was a writer of many years and of great renown, as in he's written a few books. I didn't think, anyway, I found this highly hilarious. This was so funny. There's even a panel in it where she's describing the metal. She's obviously, why they made her British, I do not know. Don't ask me. I didn't get it. Why it's gone from modern day to... It was. I was laughing all the way through. It's almost like a Red Sonja satire, like a spoof of Red Sonja. That's how it comes across. I mean, if they'd have sold it on that and amped it up a bit, I think they'd have had a hit on their hands, because I found it highly hilarious. I'm trying to find. Feels like my fanny is wrapped in burlap beneath spoons. That's describing Red Sonja's armour. We all know, don't we? We all know the metal, chain metal, however it's been designed by the glorious Frank Thorne. God knows how I plucked that out of my memory. I've got to put this in the box alongside all of those glorious original Marvel. Anyway, I found this highly hilarious. No, I won't be getting issue 2. It was all right for a couple of quid just to have a giggle. But you was right, Mandy. You was on the money with that one, I've got to say. But like, I think she found it funny, but more annoying. But I just found it highly hilarious. I really did. So if you want a spoof of Red Sonja, go out and get that out your LCS. Right, top 10, guys. Let's get on with it. This J.M. DeMatteis, I would not have bought this comic if it wasn't for Jay and DeMatteis. I'm not into the 90s cartoons because, blimey, I had my first kid in 95. So I had other things to do, kind of, opening up my first business and all the rest of it. So the 90s, for me, are out. But J.M. DeMatteis is on this, and he's obviously toning things down to get it right for here. He's just one of the best writers about still. And I would still love to see him do just the normal Amazing Spider-Man. Now, Joe Kelly is doing a decent job with this, and I know that John Romita Jr.'s artwork is dividing the people now. Back in the day, we was all loving it. His new style, I've got to admit, no, I'm finding his internals fine. It's the covers that I was finding jarring, where everyone looked like a stick insect, and I don't know, everyone looked emaciated. But there's 2 stories in this one for about £100. $7.99, celebrating. Why not? Why not celebrate 975 issues? So you get 2 you get 2 comics for one, because there's a Pepe Larraz. He's the artist who I thought was someone else last week, who had done a story in Bring On the Bad Guys. Anyway, I love Pepe Larraz's artwork. He's a top-notch artist. He really is. Nice cover. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to get Book of the Week anytime soon, I don't think, but I am enjoying it. Like, it's just decent, fun Spider-Man, nothing too heavy. If you want light, this is light, but nevertheless, with DeMatteis on it, there's a bit more to it. Like, you can, as a grown-up, you can get something for, he hasn't just written it for kids, put it that way. And it can be done by decent writers, like Wes Craig writing Kaya. On and on and on. You haven't just got to write it for kids. All ages, we can all enjoy it. Don't forget, we are all big kids, aren't we? Well, I am. Before you say it, yes, okay, I know. Doctor Strange, another milestone issue, 450 issues of Doctor Strange. I've probably got most of them, I am proud to say. And again, these were 2, sorry, I'm just refreshing my memory. There's 3 stories in here. That was what I wanted to mention. Roger Stern and Ron Lim on a story in the back. Oh, come on. I had to do it. And it's only like a little 6-pager. Now, I like the fact that this is only short stories. I like that. I like one and done. There's something about it that I really enjoy. I don't have to get any other titles. It's not tied in with anything else. I don't have to buy 8 issues of another title, or even 8 issues of Doctor Strange. I can just read a comic, put it down, bag it, board it maybe. If it deserves a board. I don't board everything now. Does that make me a bad collector? Anyway, I'd rather spend the money on comics than cardboard and plastic. Ghost Machine. So that's all your Marvel. Well, that's all your Marvel. Yeah. Over to Image. Without Image, I would be lost, wouldn't I? You know that. If you're a sexy subscriber, you know how much I just love the stuff. It's what makes comics great at the moment. We've got the capes and cod pieces over with DC and Marvel, and that's all fine. That's good. My book of the week is capes and cod pieces, so that's fine. In the middle, we've got all the indies giving us the good stuff, really. I think, anyway, the good stuff that makes the hobby worthwhile. And this story, it's kind of like a Hyde Street spin-off, which is like the Twilight Zone-esque stories of different weird characters. Hyde Street is where certain people end up when they've been a bit naughty in real life, and etc., etc., all that kind of shtick. And this is a character from Hyde Street that is joined. It's 2 sorority sisters, one of which died in a tragic accident. That the mystery, was it a tragic accident? Who pushed her into the swimming pool? Well, she's come back from the dead to find out. And with the aid of her friend, I'm really enjoying it. only because it's 5 issues. It's going to be, you know, there'll be a resolution to it, and then we'll just be back to normal Hyde Street. There might be another. I mean, they have done a couple of spin-offs. They've all been good. I am really enjoying that. This was the last episode of the latest. I think it's book 3. They said at the end. It was just a little quick 5 issues. Yeah. There's no way of describing this really without making this video an hour and a half long. It's Jeff Lemire. Is that enough said? It's Jeff Lemire weaving a kind of weird alternate reality. There's this weird thing that we don't really know what it is, and it's linked maybe to ley lines in America where highways have been built. And did these highways get built and these buildings get built in specific places on purpose to travel these? That's how I'm interpreting it. Let me know in the comments if you're reading Phantom Road and you see a different story, because I have tried working it out in my head to describe it. And lovely artwork by Gabriel H. Walter. That he did draw something else that I saw, but anyway, his artwork suits that beautifully. I know this was last week. I didn't pick it up because I've got 2 LCSs, one main one for all my stuff. But I thought I was from my old mate Paul at Comics and Fantasy, but he said, no, you picked this up at New Dawn Comics. I went, oh, all right. I don't remember. Anyway, Female Punisher. I'm loving it. Female Punisher. There's no ifs and actually there's plenty of buts. I was going to say there's no ifs and buts, but there is, and boobs. Female Punisher, lots of fun, straightforward. You've got the setup, got the mission, get on with it. This was a highlight of the week, I've got to say. Don't be put off when I say zombie apocalypse. It is, but bear with me. I love. Let's take The Walking Dead. We've got to do that, haven't we? Because we all know that. Not just as the comic, but as a genre. As in, it's the humans that are still left that is the worst thing that's going on, rather than, we can all dodge a couple of zombies going, ugh, but it's the humans that we're still stuck with that are the ones that are causing. Like, that's just the Walking Dead shtick. It's the same here, but there is a twist. There's a twist to the zombies that I really enjoyed. And it's not just making them fast, by the way, like Danny Boyle did 28 Days Later. It's not that. There's a nice twist. There's enough horror in this. Not gore, but creepy. That zombie horror. I enjoyed this a lot. This could have been in another week. This could have been book of the week. That's how much I love that. So take that one to the bank if you want. That's issue 1. Another issue 1 of a little mini series. Another cheeky little story. And apparently Maria loved it. No, I'm not going to do. I know you're expecting me to do a joke. Like something like, I love it. What was that from? From Naked Gun, wasn't it? Whatever one it was, or the second one. I love it. That was his code word. I love it. Anyway, back in the room. This is obviously a love cyborg, and this is the heroine of the story. First issue, really, the bit I love about it. Anyway, I will grow up one day. No, the bit I really enjoy is obviously Maria. This is Maria Lovett's. I think I said this in the whole video. It's her entire creation. And what this does remind me of, is reminiscent of, is those kind of erotic, heavy metal stories that would run back in the day. That's what her art style, that very, very European, I don't know where she comes from, but this really did remind me of one of those old heavy metal stories where they're just giving you enough titillation. I can't stop giggling. They just give you enough, but it's not full on erotica. Do you know what I'm getting at? I'm trying to be serious. But along the same lines, it's weird that this was released the same week as this, Chip Zdarsky, right? About robots. I'm trying to do non-spoilers, by the way. I should have said that at the beginning, shouldn't I? If you're a sexy subscriber, you know I don't give spoilers here. Well, I try not to. So I'm trying to think of the non-spoilery. She's the chef robot. He is a kind of old timer. Do you remember Clint Eastwood in The Line of Duty, where he's at the end of the line of his career in the Secret Service? Well, our main character here, I'm going to say he, I should be saying they, shouldn't I? Because this should be a kind of, and Chip Zdarsky tackles that quite cleverly with two of the human characters in a gay relationship in this, does give you the pause of thought, which is sometimes what elevates a writer like Chip Zdarsky to a level above, because he's done it. He took me down. He led me up the garden path that this is a man and that's a woman. Is that a fair enough comment? Even in the art style. And it's not until later on in the story where the two guys involved, they're in a gay relationship, are talking about one of these robots and calling them they, that I thought, oh, I see what you did there, but I love that. I love it. So anyway, another hit. But it's weird how, robots in love, and it isn't just that. There's a lot of questions getting thrown up in there. Good Chip Zdarsky stuff. And the same with this. I mean, obviously there's a lot more story in there for me to talk about than in one issue of this, but maybe a trade weight on both of these, to be fair. But it's weird how it's all about non-human love. Can I say that? But consensual. Is the algorithm going to pick that up? Uh-oh, demonetization. Anyway, thoroughly enjoyed them both. Book of the week, you all know what it is by now. Should we all sing the 60s theme tune? Shall we? Because they've done the logo like that, haven't they? No, this is a serious channel. Even though I'm up for the most comedic or entertaining comic content creator in the Comic Book Community Awards, I do try and take my collecting very, very, and my reviews and you lot, very, very seriously, but not myself. Anyway, wow, that was a good waffle, wasn't it? Book of the week, guys. It deserves it. It deserves it. And obviously we knew George Jimenez was going to, like I say, we've all bought this, haven't we? Is there anyone out there that's been sitting on the fence not to buy a comic written by Matt Fraction, drawn by Jorge Jimenez, and coloured by Tomeo More? Is there anyone really sitting on the fence? I don't think so. Anyway, it's worth your dough. Just for those of you who may have been sitting on the fence, if you are here thinking, another Batman comic, which is valid, by the way. It is valid. My eyes rolled as well till I picked this beauty up. And then when I read it and I thought, oh, wow, DC. Yep, for the main characters, they do deliver. And the artwork is beautiful. The colouring is stunning. Absolutely stunning. It's colouring, artwork colouring on another level. Those two this could have been a really crap story. It's not. It's a great intro into a new Batman on his own till the end of the splash page. I thought we might have got away with. And anyway, spoiler if you haven't read this yet. Spoiler. I thought we might have got away with Batman on his own for a little bit. I think that's why I'm enjoying detective comics, because they team him up with Harvey Bullock or someone weird. I just lost. Every now and again, when you've got the Bat family, this isn't a whinge, by the way, it's just my pure personal tastes for Batman. When the Bat family's around him, it does get on my nerves a bit. I know I'm a crusty old hog, and I really, it does get on my nerves a bit. So the last page, I've got to admit, I thought, oh. But I'm going to be on board for issue 2, not like Red Sonja, dumped on issue 1. I'm on board for this. I am. I'm on board for it. It was absolutely stunning. It's one of those comics that you can just, like I'm doing now, just flick through and just think, wow, that's a beautiful thing. Everything's considered, just a little example of a page of just, and I'm hesitant to do a deep dive because we've all got it. We're all getting it, and deservedly so, by the way. Deservedly so. But cover of the week wise, I mean, that is, if you're going to sell a horror comic, a kind of semi-desiccated cow is going to do it, isn't it? And as you can see, I mean, I've been holding them up. There's not really, I mean, Phantom Road is never going to be sold on its covers, is it? It's never going to be like the be all and end all. I've got to say, the Red Sonja cover is beautiful. A beautiful illustration with a dragon. If you're going to sell Rod Sonja, if you're going to sell Red Sonja, put a dragon on it. Put her in her underwear. Red Sonja in her underwear, dragon in the background. Come on, let's have it. If you're going to try and sell a Spider-Man comic, have 2 of them. Have an electronic Spider-Man. So, yeah, that's a good one. Red Sonja's a good one. A little bit of action there. They're thwipping their way. Got to mention, as always, Liber Merjo. Look at that. Obviously, this wasn't in my top 10 because the others were more. Yeah, I think this is always good though. That's why I still get it. But I was strict with myself this week. Very, very strict. What else? What else was out? No, other than that, no. Do you know what? It is out of these 2 guys. And I've got to I know it's cover of the week from last week, but a fun read. And yeah, it's definitely cover of the week because this is what you do. I know it's a bit static, but compared to everything else, except Bermejo, fully painted art, I don't know, it just does the job. I know it's only cover A, because like I say, my old mate Paul, he got the variants first, which all stay in the box for the variant collectors, and he whacks the cover A's out. So, no, I think that is deserving of Giggle of the week and cover, a double winner for Red Sonja. Giggle and cover of the week for Red Sonja. Go on, girl. Go on, girl. Right. Thank you if you followed me that far. You you're one of my sexiest subscribers. And that, well, yeah, that is it for another week. Like I say, we all need a little quiet week every now and again, don't we? Not so mad, not so intense. And if you followed me this far, thank you so much. I do appreciate all of your comments, all of you new subscribers that are coming on board, commenting. Love you all, old and new. Carry on commenting. Let me know what you got, what I might have missed. If you agree or disagree. Have you read Sonja? Have you read Batman? What did you think? Am I gushing? Or is it just the same old thing? Let me know. Come on, get involved. It's only comics. We are not going to fall out over comics. Honestly, we're going to stay friends. And until next time, I'm going to bid you all adios.